Some things are held balanced and bound, and others are magnets with no need for glue. Pulling things apart is a test of their heart. And surely they truly have duly been proved. One more year, won't you stay a while? The air's different when you're around. Words of the bird are worth less than dirt. They make a fine nest, but a miserable stew. So let them all chirp. That's how their minds work. It isn't. Won't you stay a while? The air's different when you're around.
Hello friends, I'm Magrann, a queer cyborg game designer living in Columbus, Ohio, and it is a beautiful fall day today. It's cold, but not too cold. The sun is partially out. I can be outside without a jacket. I'm happy. And as you can see, I went to the Renaissance Festival this weekend with a group of friends. It was super fun. The Ohio Renaissance Festival is just a blast. I've been going to Ren Faire forever, right? It's like a crossover between gaming and cosplay. I only wish that there was a pervasive LARP running there, except that how would you organize it, and how would you keep shitty people out and do rules and regulations within something like that? It'd be something that you could design for 10 people that you'd secretly be playing maybe at the Ren Fest, which who knows. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about self-care, taking a day off, even though I'm super busy, right? And how essential that is for my personal mental health and for yours too. Days off are important to recharge, just take a total day to ignore everything that's going on with work or business or whatever, and just chill and relax for at least 5 hours. I tend to schedule regular social time. So I will like plan every week to have like 1 or 2 nights where I hang out with friends. One of those things right now is like a scheduled Wednesday night American Horror Story thing that we go to at a theater downtown that plays it, like streams it live. And me and my friend Blue go to that every week, every Wednesday. So I know I can always plan on doing that, and it's a fun break, hang out with a friend. Another thing that I'll do is to try and stay on some social calendars. Like if a group of friends is doing something and it's like a once a year thing, like an October party or the Renaissance Festival that only comes once a year, then I'll try to prioritize that over maybe smaller get-togethers or drinking events, trying to drink less, consume better things for my body, put less poison in there, right? So those are things that are on my Google schedule. It's easy to overbook social time. I've definitely overcommitted and had to cancel before. I have a lot of friends, and sometimes we're not all in the same place doing the same thing. So, I'll try to prioritize certain things if I can based on my availability, my pain, whatever, and how often I get to see that person maybe, like are they just visiting in town? But don't be afraid to cancel. Sometimes you're overbooked and you just have to cancel, or you're not feeling well, or whatever happens. That's super important to keep in mind with your mental and physical health as well, especially if it's meant to be taking a break. Social time should not be a burden. This is extra complicated for people with social anxiety, right? It feels like every encounter is a burden or is scary or causes some anxiety. So learning kind of how to tell the difference between like what is too much and not enough, especially if you're managing social anxiety, I think is a little trickier. For me, I try to like keep to that schedule of like once to twice a week, because any more than that, I also need time for my partner, and I also need time for myself. So prioritizing that time and kind of scheduling it out ahead of time takes the pressure off of my personal social anxieties. This is a harder one for me recently, although to a certain extent I have definitely worked jobs where there's kind of a blurring of the lines between like social hangout time and working social time. So this is especially relevant to like freelancers or artists and designers, or people who are like working specifically in a field or job that they love. The bonus is that you're doing something that you love and you're getting paid for it. The negative is that sometimes it's hard to tell if you're working or socializing, especially if you like organize events or have to travel or go to events or attend them or network or socialize as like part of your job. For game design, this is tricky because, tabletop role-playing games are social. It's a social event. So, kind of knowing when I'm doing the work of promoting a game or promoting something I'm designing versus hanging out and socializing with my friends, or like the work of running a game versus just kind of playing in a game, like the amount of stuff that you have to do to prepare in either case is kind of it's an interesting examination kind of emotional labor in game design. Because a lot of times, actually since I've started designing games, people have reached out to me like, hey, run your game for us. And a lot of these I'm like, yes, that's super fun, I love my game, of course. But sometimes I'm like, oh, that's actually a lot of work. I'm discovering to kind of be running my game all the time for people, as opposed to just being like, oh, it's cool if you want to just kind of play my game on your podcast without me. I have like a tight schedule. So yeah, I think that's complicated and confusing sometimes. Like when I'm working running my game or when I'm playing running my game. So I'm trying to navigate that now, actually. So I guess those are my 3 tips for how to do some mental, emotional self-care for taking time off when you're working for yourself, or when you're in crunch. I feel better and more ready to work today than I did yesterday, and it was the right choice, taking 1 day a week off at least, or in my case yesterday actually it was more just like 5 hours, but remember to do that. Take care of yourself. Very important. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my videos. My channel is growing and it's excellent. And I will see you in the next vid closer to Halloween time.